So hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is class 7 or you can say lecture 7 on the classical mechanics. Already 6 lectures covered to the previous one. In this lecture we want to discuss about the central force. In this lecture we wants to cover up the basic property of central force and the corresponding equation of motion, and the path described by a central force also can be discussed, right? So let's start. This is the syllabus for University of Calcutta first semester of physics. In the previous 6 lecture or 6 class, we already covered up this portion. You can refer to the lectures. Link are given in description box. If there is any queries, you can comment or you can contact with me, right? So in this lecture, we want to cover up this portion, that is the gravitation and the central force motion. Actually, in this lecture or in this video, we want to discuss this portion. Okay, that is the central force, reduction of two body central problem in one body, setting up equation of motion in plane polar coordinate system, differential equation for the path, motion under inverse curvature. All these part are covered will be in this video. In the next video we will cover up the next portion. So let's start with the concept of central force. What do you mean by central force? Actually the force which are towards our center, the force which depend on the radius and whose direction will be towards the center or away the center, or you can say a central force, a central force is is defined as the force that points radially, that is depend only radius, on depends on radius. Suppose this is a point and this force depends on this radius, and this direction will be away from this origin or towards the origin, either one. Okay, so this points radially, and whose magnitude depends on whose magnitude depends only on the distance. Okay, on the distance, the magnitude depends only on the distance from the source. This is the source, and this is the field point. Okay, from the distance from the source, right? Or you can write in the mathematical form, that is central force will be equal to function of r, that is depend on radius distance, into r cap. Okay, so we can know from previous lecture, that is this force can be written as minus grad v. So this is nothing but minus dv dr. From vector calculation we know. So if you compare this f of r, this, so f of r can be written as minus dv dr. So you can see v is equals to minus integration f of r dr. So this will be nothing but only function of r, right? So the for potential, this is nothing but potential depends only on radius, right? So the potential depends only on radius. This is the important features of the central force. Central force means the force which follow up this relation. Central force is the force which follow up this relation. This is the important property of central force. Sorry, this is the property of, sorry, this is the property of mm, okay. This is the property of central force, you can say. And another important property of central force is that, number one, they are obliquitous in nature. That is, so we had better learn how to deal with them, right? Number two, dealing with them, that is the central force, is much easier than you might think, because some crucial simplification occur. That is, if we can represent this equation of motion by central force, then the equation solution will be easier. In the equation of motion, because when v is a function only r, there the variable will be reduced only r only, okay. So this is the importance of central force. That is, the central force can be represented as this only this force depends on the magnitude of the central force, depend only the distance from the source, and the direction will be towards the source or away from the source, okay. This is the basic property of central force. This if any force follow up this equation, we can say this is a central force, and these are two property satisfy the central force. Next one is the reduction of two body central force problem to one body problem. That is, if there is two body, suppose this is two body, they are situated at certain distance. If you can say, this is mass m1 and this is mass m2, are situated at this position vector is r1 and its position vector is r2, right? And these two body are separated by a distance r vector, okay. This is a origin and their center of mass will be lies here somewhere. This is point A, this is point B, okay. So these two point, that is the two body, can be treated as one body problem when they are in central force. This is the basic thing or use of the central force. You can see these two body can be treated as a single body. These two body can be treated as a single body. So you can take consider two particles, or masses m1 and m2 with the only force those of their mutual interaction which we assume is given by a potential which is a function only of the sorry only of the only of the distance between them, by them. That is, the potential function is only depend on their separation. Okay, this is the potential which are depend on their separation only. Okay, so you can say, taking two body at position r1 and r2 vector r2 with separation with separation r. Okay, so since there is no external force, so you can see this the position vector of the center of mass. So the position vector of center of mass, you can see r vector equals to m1 r1 vector plus m2 r2 vector by m1 plus m2. Simple. And in this diagram, if you remember this diagram, this is m1, this is m2, and this is r1 r2. This was small r, and the center of mass will be capital R, right? So you can write the r vector equals to nothing but r2 vector minus r1 vector, and r1 vector can be written as r vector minus m2 by m r vector. Okay, because this position r1 vector equals to this this r vector minus this, and this vector will be the portion of m2 by total m is nothing but m1 plus m2, right? So you can say this, and similarly you can say r2 equals to r2 minus that's become plus m1 by m r vector. Okay, so the kinetic energy, you can say kinetic energy of this system. If you wants to say the kinetic energy of this system, this is nothing but half m1 r1 dot square plus half m2 r2 dot square. This is the kinetic energy of first particle m1, and this is the kinetic energy of second particle. So you can see this is m1. If you put just r1 and r2, just r1 and r2, you will get sorry you will be get you just put the r1 and r2, you will be get r1 is m2 by m r dot whole square plus half this will be m2 r2 means r dot plus m by m1 by m r dot whole square. Clear? So if you rearrange, then you will be get the equation like that, that is half m1 plus m2 r dot square plus half m1 m2 by capital M into r dot square. Clear? So this can be written as half total mass m r dot square, and this can be written as half mu r dot square. Clear? Here this mu is known as the mu, where this mu is called the reduced mass, that is the m1 plus m2 by uh, just I want to remove this. So mu is nothing but m1 m2 by m1 plus m2, and this is called the reduced mass. Okay, and if you say for the potential energy, if you for potential energy, that is u r1 minus r2 is nothing but u function of r is independent of conjugate momenta, independent of r, right? And the conjugate momenta, if you wants to say the conjugate momenta of this two body system, if you can center of mass of ith position, that is del kinetic energy minus potential energy del Ri dot, this is nothing but m Ri dot, okay, are the conserved, are conserved, okay. So I think clear, the two body problem can be represented as single body uh, problem whose kinetic energy and potential energy like that, and two mass of this two body problem can be treated as single problem, that is the reduced mass. So if you wants to find out this reduced mass from the equation of motion, you can find, suppose this mass m1, this mass m2, and the coordinate of this will be r1, and the coordinate position vector of m2 is r2, and their separation will be taken as this r vector, okay. So you can write, so if you take, if we consider the external forces, that is F1 and F2, and the internal force F12, that is force on 1 due to 2, and F21, okay. So there is total 4 force, that is F1 and F2 are the external force on particle 1 and particle 2 respectively, and the internal force, that is F12 on particle 1 and F21, that is on particle 2, okay. So the internal force must be satisfy Newton third's law. So you can see the internal force must be satisfy Newton's third law of motion, that is F12 is nothing but minus F21, Newton third law says. So if you want to write down the equation of motion, the equation of motion, if you want to write the equation of motion for the particles, what will be the equation of motion? That is, for first one, that is m1 d2 r1 dt square equals to f12 plus f1, and another one for 2, particle 2, that is m2 r2 d2 square equal to f21 plus f2, okay. So we wants to read down these two equation, just multiply 1 by m2 and this by m1 and then subtract, okay, then subtract. So if you operate this, you can write down this equation as, that is m1 m2, just operate this one, you can write down this equals to like that, that is m2 f12 minus m1 f21 plus m2 f1 minus m1 f2, okay. If you rearrange them, you can write m1 m2 d2 dt square r1 minus r2 is equals to m1 plus m2 f12, because f21 can be written as, this is f21 can be written as like that. So this is m2 f1 minus m1 f2, okay. So if you divided by m1 plus m2, you can write m1 m2 d2 dt square r1 minus r2 equals to m1 plus m2 f12 plus m1 m2 taken as a common, you will be get f1 by m1 minus f2 by m2. So you can write this as the m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 d2 dt square r1 minus r2, and this will be f12 plus m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 f1 by m1 minus f2 by m2. We just take this as a reduced mass mu, so we can represent here this as a mu d2 dt square r1 minus r2, this can be taken as r f12 plus mu f1 m1 minus f2 m2. Now if there is no external force, if no external force, then what happen? External force, then what happen? These two are equals to 0, so you can write mu d2 dt square and r2 r1 minus r2 as a take as r1 minus r2 take as a r1 minus r2 take as a r vector. So you can write this is equals to f21, since these two are equals to 0. So their equation can be represented as single body single body equation, that is the equation of a single body. Clear? So we can write down these two body problem into a single body problem using the concept of reduced mass nu. We use the mu1 mu2 by, so here mu is nothing but m1 m2 by m1 plus m2, m1 m2 by m1 plus m2, m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. Clear? Now comes into the property of the central force. There is various property of central force, basic property, that's why we deal with the central force, because central force have the some specific property. First one, it's the conservative. Central force always conservative. Conservative. How we can prove this? This is conservative because the central force is nothing but function of r into r cap. So this can be written as f of r vector by r. So f of r by r can be written as g of r vector. Okay, this is central. G of r is nothing but this f of r by r. Now if we take this curl of this vector, we know the conservative force can be described if the curl of f will be 0. So curl of f is nothing but curl of this g of r into r vector. So this is nothing but the, you know, this is nothing but the g prime r into r cap cross r vector plus g of r curl of r. So this is nothing but g prime r by r into r vector cross r, and g of r curl of r is 0 and r cross r is 0. So these both are 0. Since this is 0, we can say f of a vector, that is the central force will be, so f is conservative. F is conservative. So we can say this f is conservative. Clear? Next property. Next property says that is the property 2. The particle under central force always in the plane. This particle under the central force follow up the in a plane. Okay. So particle under central force must be moves in a plane. Moves in a plane. In a plane. When the particle under the central force moves in a plane. This is the second property. Why? We can say because that this central force is can be written as f of r cap. Simple. Now if you wants to cross with r cross f, this will be nothing but f of r cross r cap, this will gives you 0. Okay, so this force can be written as, that is the sorry. So this can be written as, that is r cross f. F is nothing but m dv dt. This will be 0. So this can be written as ddt of r cross v equals to 0, because r cross v have two term, that is r cross dv dt, and there is another term dr dt into v. Dr dt is v, so this gives you 0, right? So derivative will be 0, so you can see r cross v will be constant. H is a constant vector, constant, you can see. Now if you wants to find r dot this h, that is r dot r cross v, this must be equals to 0. Okay, so you can see here the r is the position vector, and r is the position vector, which is perpendicular always a constant vector. That is the position vector of this particle for everywhere is perpendicular to h. R is perpendicular to h vector, that is h is a constant vector, is constant, and the particle always perpendicular to this vector, always perpendicular to this vector. That means is follow up the a single plane. This is only possible, this is only possible when this is constant, h is constant vector and r is always perpendicular to h. That means the particle follow up in a plane. Okay, I think clear. This is the second property of the central force, that is a particle always follow up in a plane, right? Third property says that a particle moving under central force, angular momentum is conserved. Angular momentum is conserved. Angular momentum, that is the L, will be conserved or constant. You can say the angular momentum is constant. So the the r into this a vector, that is central force will be 0, and this can be written as m dv dt equals to 0. So or you can write this is dp dt equals to 0. So this is ddt of r cross p equals to 0, because these have two term, that is dr dt cross p plus uh, plus that is r cross dp dt, right? This term gives you two term. This will be 0 because in this p there is m into v, and this is v, so v cross v will be 0. This is will be 0. So we can write this, no problem. So derivative will be 0, so r cross p will be constant, r cross p will be constant, and you know very well r cross p is L, so L will be constant. L will be constant for central force, because we take this is a central force, only depends on radial central force. Okay, this is the third property of central force. Comes into the next property, that is the aerial velocity will be constant. In the central force the particle moves in a plane, so they must follow up this area. This aerial velocity, that is the area covered per unit time, will be constant. That is the aerial velocity. In the later we will, in the next lecture actually we will be discuss about the Kepler's law, where we will be again got the aerial velocity term, and this will be also this is the second law of Kepler's law will says the aerial velocity constant, and this is in case of the general property of the central force, the aerial velocity is constant, clear. Aerial velocity is constant. So the area of this can be written as, this is the r and this take as delta r. So the area will be because you can see this is r vector, and this change to that, this is r plus delta r vector. So you can say this is delta r vector. So the area delta A will be nothing but half into r cross delta r, and take only magnitude, you can see r cross delta r magnitude. So aerial velocity will be written as, that is dA dt is nothing but limit delta t tends to 0 delta A by delta t. Okay, so this is limit delta t tends to 0, delta is the half r cross delta r by delta t. We can write this as the, so so this is a constant, this is changes, that's why this can be written as, so this is nothing but r cross v. And previously we got r cross p is the, sorry, r cross v is the h vector, taken the h vector, and h will be the constant, we already proved. And so we can write this h, and this h vector is nothing but r cross v is h vector, so r cross v is h vector, and you know r cross p is l vector, right? L vector, p is nothing but mv, so if you put m here, so you can see here this is l vector by m, so this is written as l vector by 2m, and this is nothing but a constant vector, h is constant and l is also constant. So aerial velocity obviously constant, and magnitude of the aerial velocity can be represented in the angular momentum by 2 into m. Clear? These are the basic property of the central force. For any query, you must comment in the comment box, or you can contact with me. Now comes into the equation of motion of any particle under central force. If there are any particle under central force, then there is a simply equation, there they follow a simply differential equation of this particle. Okay, so now we can take in the plane polar coordinate system. Why plane? Because in central force they follow up in plane. And why polar? Because this force directed only r, along depend only r, that's why we take the plane polar coordinate system. Plane polar coordinate system, plane polar coordinate. Okay, plane polar coordinate system. Clear? So in plane polar coordinate system, we can take the mass into acceleration r double dot uh, equals to this force f over r cap. In plane polar coordinate system, in the preview was the previous lecture, you know, in plane polar coordinate system the acceleration term can be written as r double dot minus r theta dot square into r cap, right? Plus r theta double dot plus 2 r dot theta dot into theta cap, that into, this is the r double dot, that is the acceleration term, this will be f of r, actually this is small f of r cap, right? Okay, so you can see there is only r cap term, so there is no theta cap term, so you can write down this term will be 0. So if you take this term will be 0, you can say here, that is m r square theta double dot, no, why r square, sorry, so you can write, that is m r theta double dot plus 2 r dot theta dot equals to 0. Now if you wants to multiply with respect to r in both sides, so m r square theta double dot plus 2 r dot theta dot equals to 0. This can be written as ddt of r square theta dot. The derivative of this theta double dot, and this is 2 r dot theta dot will be 0. So you can write down, that is the r square theta dot equals to constant. Okay, r square theta equal to constant, and this can be written as h, say this will be h. Okay, So from cos radial part, this is the cross radial part, right? Cos radial part. If you see the previous lecture, you know this is cos radial part and this is radial part. Now comes into the radial part. Now comes into radial part. The radial part says that is the m r double dot minus r theta dot square. So m r double dot minus r theta dot square. This is f of r. Clear? So this can be written as r double dot minus r theta dot square equals to f of r by m. F of r by m. Take now if we take that is u equals to 1 by r. So the theta dot equals to h by r square. This is obtained from previous, that is here you can see theta dot equal to h by r square, h by r square from previous. Okay, so you can write this theta dot equals to h u square, that is u equals to 1 by r, so this is h u square, and r dot is nothing but dr dt. So this is nothing but dr d theta into d theta dt. So this is dr d theta and theta dot dr d theta, that is dd theta of r is nothing but 1 by u and theta dot is obtained h u square. So this is minus 1 by u square du d theta and this is h u square. Clear? So u square has cancelled out, only h du d theta. So we'll get r dot. Now if you take r double dot, if you take r double dot, then we will get minus h is constant and this will give dt of du d theta. If you change this into dd theta of du d theta, so you put theta dot, so minus h d2 u d theta square and theta dot is again h u square. So this gives you minus h square u square d2 u d theta square. So we get theta dot r double dot theta dots all. So if you put in this equation, put this in this equation. So from equation 1 we get the that is minus h square u square d2 u d theta square minus 1 by u h u square whole square, because there is r theta dot square, r is 1 by u, theta dot h u square whole square equals to f of r, r is 1 by u by m. Clear? So just multiply this minus and arrange in, will we get this equation, that is h square u cube equals to minus f of 1 by u by m. So this can be written as d2 u d theta square plus u just divided by h square u square. So you will be get minus f of 1 by u by m h square u square. Clear? This is the differential equation of motion of the trajectory describe the particle under central force. This is the differential equation of motion of particle under central force. Okay, so under central force, this is the differential equation of motion of this particle. I think clear. If there is any doubt, you must contact with me or you can comment. Next is the conservation of energy for a particle under central force. If a particle under central force, their energy will be conserved. How we can prove that? Central force mean the force will be f of r cap, simple. And you know from previous, that is the radial part of this component, that is this equals to f of r, this is radial part, and the cross radial part, that is 2 r dot theta dot, could be 0. Radial part, this is radial part, and this is cross radial part, okay. These two are 0. Now this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. This 1 is multiplied by r dot, and 2 is multiplied by r theta dot, and then add. Then what happened? This m r dot multiplies, so r dot r double dot minus r dot theta dot square plus r square theta dot theta double dot r square theta dot theta double dot plus 2r r dot, sorry, r dot not double dot, just multiply. So this will be r dot 2 r dot theta dot square is equals to, in this right hand side you will be get r dot f of r. Clear? So this is nothing but m. This term will be r dot r double dot, and this term will be reduced, and this is r square theta dot theta double dot, this term, and these two term together gives you r dot theta dot square. In the right hand side, this can be written as dr dt, and f of r is nothing but minus dv dr, and the basic definition from the central force at the very first beginning without done this one. So you can write this is dv minus dv dt, and this can be written as half m ddt of r dot square plus r square theta dot square. Just derivative, you will get 2 r dot r double dot, and for that you will be get r square 2 r dot, here the half is given here, 2 theta dot theta double dot, and for that you will be get 2 r dot and theta dot square. Just do yourself, you will be get this portion, okay. And this is nothing but the velocity component, this is nothing but the velocity component, and this is the potential energy, okay. So this term gives you kinetic energy, this term gives you kinetic energy, so ddt of, you can say this is ek is minus ddt of ep. So in together you can write ddt of ek plus ep is equals to 0. So ek plus ep is constant, okay. So this is kinetic energy term, this is the velocity square, this is the potential energy term, so the addition of these two will be constant. So total energy will be conserved for the central force, the motion under the central force, the total energy will be conserved. Now comes into the equation of motion from conservation of energy, the reverse portion. From conservation of energy we need to prove the equation of motion. So from conservation of energy we can say, from conservation of energy we can say, that is the kinetic energy half m r dot square plus r square theta dot square, you know this is the v square half m v square minus this is the potential term f of r dr equals to E total energy, okay. Now you have the relation, that is the r square theta equals to h, r square theta equals to h, we just taken here r square theta equals to h, r square theta equals theta dot equals to h, r square theta dot equals to h. So r square theta dot equals to h, so you can put that is the r square theta dot equals to h, so you can write this, and again you can see r dot equals to dr dt. So this is dr d theta into d theta dt. So this is dr d theta into theta dot, and theta dot here you can write h by r square. So this is h by r square dr d theta. This is r dot. So if you put here, you will be get r dot square. R dot square means r dot is h by r square dr d theta whole square plus r square into theta dot square. Theta dot is equal to h by r square whole square minus, this is integration f of r dr is equals to e. So if you take this h square and the r to the power 4 as a common, you will be get that is dr d theta whole square. H square r to the power common, so you will be get r square only r to the power 4 taken as a common minus integration f of r dr equals to e, and this is nothing but v. So if you take the if you take the sorry if you take the u is a 1 by r, so r equals to 1 by u, so dr d theta equals to minus 1 by u square du d theta. So if you just put here, you will be get that is m h square and r to the power 4, that is u to the power 4 in the upper side by 2 into 1 by r dr d theta whole square, that is 1 by u to the power 4 du d theta whole square. R square is 1 by u square equals to e, and this is v, e minus e minus v. So you can write here that is the du d theta whole square plus u square is equals to 2e minus v divided by e to the 4 are taken out. So this is u square, e to the 4 as a in the inside, this will be 1 and this is will u square. So here we will get u square, and this is mhs square. Okay, so this is the differential equation which already obtained in the previous one. No, we can get this equation of motion by again just derivative. So this is the equation of motion from conservation of energy, from conservation of energy, conservation of energy. This is the energy equation of motion from the conservation of energy, we can say here. Clear? Up to that, I think this is clear for all of you. And now we want to discuss about the inverse square law. This video is long, but I want to cover up in a single video, that's why I take this long continuation of this lecture. Okay, if you have any problem, you can take rest and watch the video sometime later, but I want to cover up in the in total in a single video. Okay, so what is inverse square law? Inverse square law means the force or the property which depends only depend only 1 by r square. This is the inverse square law, nothing else. So if there is source point, this is the source point, and this extend from with radius, then at distance r this is like that, at distance to r this is like that, and so on. The area will be like that. This is r, this is 2r, this is 3r, and so on. This depend only 1 by r square term. Okay, so the physical law, if you want to say, that is the physical law physical law standing sorry physical law stating that a specified physical quantity or in intensity physical intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source of that physical quantity. Okay, mainly this property or the physical quantity depends only 1 by r square term. This is the main funda of inverse square law. This is called the inverse square law. Clear? So for inverse square law, we wants to find out the motion in a particle, that is actually want to take the attractive force. In case of attractive force, we wants to find out the equation of motion of this particle. Okay, so in case of inverse square field, the f of r will be some constant by r square. Since this is attractive, you will be get this negative where k equal to 0. The central force, you remember, this will be f of r cap. This f of r will be taken as this in case of inverse square force field. Okay, so if you remember the differential equation in the last finished, we, that is d2u d theta square plus u equals to minus f of r m h square u square. Okay, so if you put this f of r that is minus k by r square and k by r square, f of r will be minus k by r square. So if you write in the terms of u, so this is k u square. Actually we need to write this as a function of, you need to write as a 1 by u, you need to write as this 1 by u. So this is minus plus k u square by m h square u square. So u square will be cancel out. You will be get differential equation like that, d2u d theta square plus u is equals to k by m h square. On the right hand side, this will be no dependency of u. So the general solution will be, this is the differential equation, and the differential equation of the general solution will be the u will be a cos theta plus b sin theta. You don't know, you can refer to the differential equation solution in the from the playlist. Okay, you can see here this is the solution, and if you wants to these two are combined, so you can see theta minus phi plus k by m h square. This is the solution where you can see c is the a square plus b square and phi is the tan inverse b by a. Clear? So this is the u. So you can see the r, you can say the r will be 1 by u. So this is nothing but 1 by c cos theta minus phi plus k by m h square. This is the solution of this. Okay. So we choose, if we choose this phi equals to 0, then this equation will be like that, that is k by m h square, and this is c cos theta, if we can choose. And you can see here, this is the equivalent to general form of a conic. General form of a conic, actually r will be p by 1 plus epsilon cos theta. So if you compare with this, so you must to divided by p, that is 1 by p epsilon by p cos theta. So if you compare, this is so you can see that is the P is nothing but mh square by k, and epsilon equals to C into P, like that. Okay, where P is the called as the semi lattice rectum, and epsilon is the eccentricity, right? Essen eccentricity. Clear? So the motion under the inverse square, that is attractive force, this is the equation of a conic. This is the conic. So this follow up the conic equation. That is the important property we got in case of the central force. Now comes into, that is the general prediction from the central force. If you want to find out the prediction for the central force, you can see that is, you can say that is the force is nothing but f of r cap, that is minus k by r square in case of attractive force, and the potential can be written as minus infinity to r f of r dr, right? So if you integrate, that is infinity to r k by r square dr, that is minus k by r, limit to r, you will be get this minus k by r, that is minus ku, if you represent in terms of u. So the solution we obtained just before, that is the k by mh square plus c cos theta. So if you derivative du d theta, you will be get only minus c sin theta. Now if you put into this our differential equation, that is du d theta whole square, we get from the energy differential equation from the energy conservation. You remember that we just got this in the equation from energy conservation, the equation for this energy conservation. So if you just put this, sorry, you just put this in this equation. So du d theta will be c sin theta minus c sin theta whole square plus u square. U is like that, so just put k by mh square plus c cos theta whole square equals to 2e by mh square minus 2 by mh square v. What will be the value of v? V is this ku, so this become plus, and u is will be like that 2k u is this k by mh square plus c cos theta. Clear? So just rearranging the this equation into this form, you will be get equation like that, that is 2kc cos theta by mh square plus k square by m square is to the power 4 equals to 2e by mh square plus 2k square by m square is to the power 4 plus 2kc cos theta by mh square. Clear? So you just write this square equals to 2e by mh square plus k square by m square is to the power 4, all term was cancel out. So you will get the value of c, that is the k square by m square is to the power 4 plus 2e by mh square. Okay, so we will got the value of c. Now if you want to put this value of c in this equation, that is u equals to k by mh square c cos theta, just put the value of c, that is k by m h square. C is nothing but root under k square by m square is to the power 4 plus twice e by mh square. Okay, that into cos theta, this is the value of c. If you take this as a common, you will be get k by mh square 1 plus root under this is a common, so you will be get 1 plus 2e mh square by k square into cos theta. Okay, so the r will be 1 by u, so this becomes inverse, that is mh square by k 1 plus root under 1 plus 2e mh square by k square cos theta. Okay, this is the solution of this where the p, if you remember, the equation of this will be p 1 plus epsilon cos theta. So p is semi-latus rectum, will be mh square by k. This is written as the semi-latus rectum and epsilon will be root under 1 plus 2 a mh square by k square eccentricity. Clear? So depending on this energy, the eccentricity will be changed and the corresponding eccentricity will gives you different shape. Number 1, if energy will be less than 0. If energy will be less than 0, you can see epsilon is less than 1. Epsilon less than 1 means this will gives you the ellipse. That's why the elliptical path follow up in case of energy less than 1. Number 2, energy is greater than 0. So epsilon is greater than 1. Epsilon greater than 1 is the hyperbola. So depending on the energy, the shape will be depend. If energy will be 0, the epsilon will be 1. This is the parabola. Next, if you say that is energy equals to minus of this such that epsilon will be 0, that is minus k square by 2 mh square, then epsilon equals to 0, this will be circle. Clear? I think clear. Depending on this energy, the shape of this particle which are under the center of motion, central force. The particle which are in the central force can be described according to the energy value. Clear? Next, we need to prove that if a particle moves under the action of central force in a trajectory describing a conic section, then the force will follow inverse square law. That means if this is central force, this must be follow the for inverse square law. We need to prove that one. So we can say that is the equation of conic equation. We know that is the r equals to p by general equation of conic, p by 1 plus epsilon cos theta, and we got u equals to 1 by r. So we just put 1 plus epsilon cos theta by p, so that is 1 by p plus epsilon by p cos theta. So if you derivative du d theta, will be get minus epsilon by p sin theta. So d2u d theta square, this is minus epsilon by p cos theta. Now if you put into our general equation, that is d2 u d theta square plus u square equals to minus f of 1 by u mh square u square, right? So this is gives you minus epsilon by p cos theta and u square means this whole square. So sorry, this is not square, I think this is wrong. This is u not square, this is u. So you will be get that is plus 1 by p plus epsilon by p cos theta equals to minus f of 1 by u mh square u square. So in the left hand side you will be get 1 by p and in the right hand side you will be get minus f of 1 by u by m h square u square. So you can say that is f of r or f of 1 by u equals to minus m h square u square into 1 by p. So put into r terms, so m h square by r square p, we can take this is k by r square, where k is written as the uh, mh square by p. Okay, so this follows the inverse square law. I think clear. If there is any doubt, you must in the comment box, or you can contact with me, so you can prove from conic equation to the inverse square law. In the next video we will want to discuss about the gravitational law, and the inertia mass and gravitational mass, then Kepler's law with the planetary motion, and the rest part of this mechanics will be covered up. So go ahead. This is your homework from this portion. You must do this yourself. If there is any problem, you must comment in the comment box, or you can contact with me for doing this mm, homework. So take this screenshot and do yourself. 1 2 3. Next 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So you must do this homework yourself. For any query, you can contact with me, or you can comment. Okay, this is all about me, and this is my contact details. You can contact with me, and this is my YouTube channel details. Go to this channel, you will get the video which already uploaded. The vector analysis part totally covered up. Mathematical methods most or less cover. Mechanical part also you can watch, and like this session, share this video to your friends so that he or she also get benefit. Subscribe this channel if you new in this channel, and press the bell icon to get the notification of upcoming video. So take care, we will meet in the next video as soon as possible. Thank you.